Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Province life outside of the city. We're going to take a little look at the market here in Moalboal. Got fresh fish, and my friend tells me a lot of the prices out here in the country, away from the city, is the prices are cheaper. Many of them are substantially cheaper than in the city. Of course, you have this fish is caught. Many of the people that live here are fishermen.
Snails? Snails? Squid?
160.
Huh? How much are the squid?
380 per kilo.
380 per kilo? What about the...
340.
Huh?
340.
340. My friend is coming behind me.
I really enjoy visiting all these, the local Filipino, the markets, the stores, the festivals, whatever I can do over the years. There's some limitations, restrictions, requirements in a lot of travel still in the Philippines here in December 2020. But anyway, this fish is very, very fresh. And a lot of the people who live here are fishermen. So they bring it in here. They go out, fish during the night oftentimes, bring it in. They've got ice on some of it, which is encouraging. Anyway, they've got all your meats and vegetables a little further up. And almost anything and everything you could want is in the way of seafood. One thing it's difficult to find in the Philippines, I've found, is ocean-caught fresh salmon. Difficult to find. Sometimes they ship it in, but it's not readily available in many places. But all these markets, every town has a market, and they get a pretty good selection, my experience, of vegetables, fruits. I'm not familiar with a lot of these fish, so I can't tell you what they are. Most places that you can usually find tuna and a number of other sardines. And here's the vegetables. You got charcoal. A lot of people still cook with charcoal here.
I'm just from Cebu City.
Now the oranges in the back, they come imported. They probably come down from the big market in Cebu City. They may come from Australia, the U.S., any number of places. Found some apples the other day from, I believe came in from Japan, as a matter of fact. Many different types of bananas. I think there's over 200 types of bananas. Usually you can find 3 or 4 different types in a lot of these markets. And they've got a lot of pork. Lechon is very popular here. They also had some beef up here. I'll show you in a bit. They were getting ready to harvest. I'll use that term, harvest a pig. And the pig wasn't real happy about his trip to the market. Anyway, lechon there, pork, what they call lechon. Cooked pork, very, very popular. And this is a very common type of vehicle here in the Philippines, and sometimes they outfit them with seats in the back. I was on Camotes Island, a small island off of Cebu Island a few years ago, and the guy that lived there, he told me the market there said if you want any beef, you have to get down there. I think he said Sunday early morning, because they only harvest one beef early in the morning on Sunday, I think. So if you want any beef. There are a few expats that live down here, not very many. A lot have gone back to their home countries during this crisis. But I did get comments from a couple people on past videos that they were here in town. And up in Bareilles, spread out down here, depending on where their wives, girlfriends live. This is a type of little tricycle with the container on the side. They ship a lot of the livestock in, the pigs. And anyway, if you don't like to see a dead pig, I will warn you right now, the one's coming up, so you can turn away or turn it off. But they slaughter. They slaughter, so this meat is fresh in here. They slaughter the meat in here, either early in the morning or in this case, this was about 10 in the morning still, I think. And this is where they do it. I grew up out on a farm next to a butcher in the U.S. and I saw a lot of animals processed, killed and processed, and all that type of thing there. So I'm used to this type of thing. This market is right next to the sea, so when those fishing boats come in, it's very easy to get the fish, the seafood into the market. And there again, lots of these carts, they brought in a number of pigs, and I'm sure they have other animals that they bring in here different times. But lechon pig is the main. I think they're washing hides. I think that's what they're doing, washing the various parts. But with many of these markets, all this stuff, it starts early in the morning. Anywhere from, well, I'm not going to give a time, but anywhere from 2, 3, 4 in the morning on from there. I'll take you out to the main street, the main drag out here. You can see it's a busy, bustling little city. About 32,000 people, I think. And if you're trying to catch a bus, you come out here. There's different bus stops along here. You hold out your hand if there's nobody else there, and they'll usually, unless they're full, they will pull over. I think it's anywhere between 100 pesos and it's less than 200 pesos to go from Moalboal to Cebu City. 200 pesos would be about $4. About a 2.5 hour ride, probably, depending upon the traffic. I've read that they have 2 or 3 malls. I've seen the Gaisano Mall, which is up here a ways. Not quite sure where the other, some of you that live in Moalboal can tell us where are the other malls. And they have traffic enforcers, you guys, giving directions, because there are no stop signs, there are no traffic lights in a lot of these towns, even in some of the big cities. Very few. And there's the Gaisano Grand Mall. They're not big like the big malls in Cebu City or Manila, but they have many of the things. You'll find grocery stores in these malls usually, as well as a hardware store, so it makes it convenient. And you can hire these tricycles. You might find a taxi cab or two running around town. If they may have brought some tourists in different times of the year. Once you get off the main highway in town, you will come across places like roads like this, I think, winding around. Those of you who live in this area can tell me if I'm wrong, correct me. Anyway, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of the conversation. We're following that motorbike up ahead of us. They're going to take us to a lot for sale. Right? In some place like Boracay, they made you have places where you have to be back, what, 20 meters?
Oo.
20 meters from low tide or high tide?
Title gihapon tong dakong bahay, ma'am? Imong gipangutana title gihapon tong dakong bahay.
Ito.
Lagi kay mo may ginis kung bayaw puro title ko. Igadto dito.
No, like apartments or something?
A house.
House.
Rich.
A partel.
Apartment. Short time sure.
We came across quite a mix of different houses, some very nice houses, large nice houses, intermingled with other types of houses, a number of lots for sale, places for rent. Red Horse beer. Well, you
don't have to walk too far for red horse beer. Or this one. How much for? Only 2 million?
Yeah, 2 million.
1,000.
1,000 pesos. Natay palito ni mo ng 2 million. Bulahan pa sa tanang bulahan.
And you can come down here and get your milk from the cow.
There's no milk here.
Mga bahay dito no, mga karamihan sa buyo ani.
Purified drinking water.
Now, the one house we looked at for sale, asked the lady, and she said they always had water. Something you're going to want to find out about if you're looking for a place to rent or purchase is water available? Because of the droughts,
Maybe 4 million.
a number of years, there are areas in the Philippines that have problems getting water, and it has to be shipped in. You have to go take your pail or container certain time of day, night, or whenever the water shows up, you need to go get it or have it shipped in yourself. She said they always had water even during the drought. So number one, you want to know that you've got a good source of water. Secondly, you want to know that whether or not the area that you're planning to live in gets flooded on a regular basis during the big storms that you might see. And this is a huge lot that we're going out to. I think 1,000 square meters, something like that. Not very far from some resorts. It's not right on the water, but I suspect it could be subdivided. And there's a lot of vacant land out here, as a matter of fact. So there are choices. This one actually had looked like a stone fence all the way around it. I suspect a person, I'm not real familiar with the agriculture here, you know, they have rice and mangoes and pineapples. Cacao is being promoted. Look out, dog. Number of different options, herbs as well. Moringa. A number of things that you could grow on agricultural property. They import like 90% of their milk. Dairy farm would be an option. There is one north end of Bukidnon, something like that, north end of Mindanao, and we can find fresh fish and fresh milk in some of the stores here in Cebu City. And you can see some of the roads are what you would call unimproved. Not bad, a lot of them, but some areas where it's a bit rough. Anyway, it was certainly nice to get out of town. And
Little engine.
there again,
Get out and push, Arlene.
if anyone is interested in a lot, I will leave a contact number in the description area. And even out here, look at that, the lottery. You can buy a lottery and get rich. You'll find those little lottery stands all over the Philippines, up and down the various streets, and there's always somebody manning them, and people coming by and taking their chance. Somebody won a big jackpot the other day, I read. We are almost to the lot. Now, somebody asked me, because I hired this taxi driver by the day, and over the years, I've been in Philippines 3 different trips, about 5 years total. And the taxi drivers will often quote me anyway, 3,500, 3,600 pesos for the day. And we agreed that he would run his meter, and he estimated that would be right in that range. And when we got back 10 hours later, I think it was 3,800 pesos. about 89 kilometers, 55 miles out, and the same going back. So over 100 miles in 10 hours, and so 3,800 pesos comes out to about 80 US dollars at 48 pesos to the US dollar for 10-hour ride, 10 hours, 100 miles. The reason I hired this taxi driver was a week or two earlier I was talking to him when he picked me up, and he was trying to sell me some properties that he had, some rush sale because people had medical bills, lost their jobs. And anyway, we're going to have to park the car. There's another vehicle larger than us coming, so we're going to have to back up and park and walk the rest of the way up to that lot. No problem. But anyway, he somehow or another he knows about a number of different properties, so I hired him to take us down here to Moalboal to take a look at them. So not only was he our taxi driver, but he was our guide today. You too can live in the province outside the big cities and save quite a bit of money. One thing, now this fence is around that property. If I lived in the province, good thing about that, not just saving money, but I would travel much more. I would get bored after a point, and it would be easy just to buy a bike, jump on a bike or bus or whatever, ferry, and get out and travel. But I think this is 2,000 square meters, not the cornfield, but this walled off section here. It's about 2,000 square meters. Contact the information in the description if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.